everybody, I'm Tara.
I'm Chris.
From Crooked Row, and today we just wanted to go over a little bit about more seed sowing to keep a pattern going throughout this super cold season. Chris and I went to hiking around the property yesterday, and it is very cold, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is.
And we just had such a great time. Our ponds are frozen over, and we could see like rabbit tracks across them, and the
deer tracks. Mm-hmm. Not on the pond, but deer tracks up in the woods in the field.
Yeah, and we even stumbled across, when Christopher was like 11 years old, he built this really neat fort out in the woods, and we stumbled across that. It's still there. He's 19, so that's a really good fort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So going around, you start to, like, when you're inside, you start to think that it's about time to plant, and then when you come out and go hiking and realize how frozen everything is and how much snow there still is, I think we have a bit before we're going to be able to plant outside. So we are coming out to the greenhouse today. So Chris is going to be, we already have the jugs cut, and then we have about 5 or 6 holes on the bottom for drainage, and we like to, near the handle, keep it kind of hinged, so we keep that little piece of plastic intact, and that's just for ease of movement. It really doesn't do anything. Yeah. But
well, and it makes it just a lot easier because it's not coming off, and you have to worry about, you know, keeping up with the location of all the woods and everything.
That's true. So, and we're going to use our paint pen. I keep telling everyone, make sure you don't use permanent marker. Use a paint pen for winter sowing, because I just watched a really big YouTube channel the other day who is absolutely famous for their gardening skills. And when they went to winter sow, they put a tag on the inside and on the outside because they weren't using a paint pen. But if you use a paint pen, you will have absolutely no problems. It won't fade. It is there. It is not moving. So while Chris does that, I'm actually, in one of our previous videos that we did a couple weeks ago, I was talking about, because Chris and I, we planted like sage and thyme, rosemary and spearmint. Mm-hmm. But those were all from Burpee. And if you watch this channel, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Burpee. I feel like their stuff is cheap and their germination rates aren't super good. So I had to order more from Swallowtail. So I've got sage, I've got Zulu Warrior. Now this is my first time growing this, but I have seen this flower for a few years now and really wanted to grow it. And one thing that I'm doing, the reason why I'm growing it with, because I got peppermint, I got Greek oregano, and I got more rosemary. And the reason why I'm growing the Zulu Warrior with these is because I want to keep reminding you that in your trays, you do want things that germinate around the same time. So this Zulu Warrior is 14 to 21 days, and so are the rest of these herbs. So I'm going to mark my rows. Mark your rows, you will forget. And go ahead, and I have 2 trays that I'm going to plant these in while Chris is planting in the water jug. So let's get started. Okay, well there you have it. We did have to make some substitutions, and I'll list that at the end of the video, what we did. I mean, I can tell you now, I put in some snapdragons and a row of hollyhocks because I thought I was actually going to be able to do all of the herbs in one tray, but it turned out that the Greek oregano was more than I thought it was going to be. So I went ahead and put the rosemary in its own tray and added a couple more flowers to it. So, so hey, that's okay. We need all the flowers we can get. So we're gonna take all of these jugs out to our, I'll call it the winter sowing patch, right out here outside of the greenhouse. So I'm just gonna take the humidity domes and I'm gonna put them on the trays, and then I'm gonna put them under the lights in our grow room. So that's really all there is to it. This is week 2. Actually, it's technically week 3, but we'll just call it week 2 of doing succession sowing so that we can have lots and lots of food throughout the year. The flowers are included because they help us with pollinating the bees. I'm gonna have a whole video on that later. But right now, we're gonna get my trays in a warm area and the jugs in a cold area. So remember, if we can succession sow, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.